Hey howdy hey, how is everybody doing, and welcome back to Disney Daily. So today we are going to focus on the new Marvel movie coming out August 28th called The New Mutants. And for those of you who are planning to see the film but want some backstory, here is everything you need to know about this upcoming film. The New Mutants was one of many spin-offs by Marvel to essentially capitalize on the wildly popular X-Men. It debuted in Marvel graphic novel number 4, and it was first introduced in the 1980s by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod. Now, as the story goes, this batch of teenage mutants who came from all over the world had recently discovered their powerful yet strange abilities after being triggered by a tragic event in their life. Their newfound abilities couldn't be ignored, but it was hard to say if they would get the attention of Professor Xavier. See, Professor Xavier at this time was pretty much done with molding and teaching mutants. He had been spiraling into a depression following the death of Thunderbird, Phoenix committing suicide, and the attack by parasitic aliens which had seemingly killed the rest of the X-Men. However, thanks to the push from Dr. Xavier's friend, Moira McTaggart, he is convinced to help 2 new mutants and reopen his school. The first of these mutants was Zai Koiman, aka Karma, a Vietnamese immigrant who escaped the war and had the ability to psychically possess people. The second was Rain Sinclair, also known as Wolfsbane. Rain is a red-headed Scottish orphan who can transform into a wolf. Sadly, she was raised in a church that made her believe that this mutation was a sign that she was possessed by the devil. So the church then tried to perform an exorcism on her, but Moira McTaggart was there to save her and take her back to Xavier's school. Shortly after that, Professor Xavier received a letter from Black Eagle, a Native American man who has a granddaughter named Danielle Moonstar, aka Mirage, who had suddenly begun to show mutant powers. He explains in the letter that she needed some guidance and how she is able to create various illusions based on her rival's deepest fears or biggest desires. Now, unfortunately, another had heard about Danny's powers first. His name was Donald Pierce, the White Bishop of the Hellfire Club, and he wanted to recruit her in order to seize control of the Hellfire Club, which was taken over by a man named Sebastian. Danny, however, would end up with Xavier, but sadly, Pierce found Black Eagle and murdered him. After the murder, they learned that Pierce was then targeting 2 new mutants. Karma, Moira, and Danny would then go to Brazil to track down Roberto de Costa, also known as Sunspot, a mutant who gains super strength by absorbing solar energy. Unfortunately, Pierce turned up there first and kidnapped Sunspot's girlfriend in an attempt to lure them into a trap. During the fight that broke out amongst them, Sunspot's girlfriend took a bullet intended for him and dies. Sunspot, who was left both broken-hearted and hungry for revenge, agreed to join the team. Now, while this was all going on, Professor X and Rain went down to Kentucky to try and find the 5th mutant named Samuel Guthrie, aka Cannonball. Turns out they would actually be ambushed by the fiery mutant with his ability. His ability is the power to rocket himself through the air at very high speeds, which can generate a force field around his body, rendering himself immune to any potential hazards or harm. Sadly, Sam was already working for Pierce and he captures Xavier, but Rain manages to escape and begins to track them back to Pierce's lair. Basically, what happens next is the ultimate showdown where Wolfsbane is joined by her fellow mutants and they are sadly defeated. Then Professor X breaks free and takes out Pierce without killing him. The mutants return but leave Cannonball to reflect on what he had done and to think about if he wanted to join. It only took a few days, but Cannonball was in New York ready to join the team officially. Now, there are a couple other mutants who join later, but I will just focus on one more that will be present in the movie. Her name is Illyana Rasputin, also known as Magik. She is Colossal's younger sister who has the ability to teleport through time and space. Now, in terms of a plot, there is no official information, just rumors and speculation, although there was a storyboard leak that points to the demon bear appearing in this film. The villain is best known for feeding off the negative emotions of his victims. For those of you who are familiar with this series, you may recall the demon bear haunted the dreams of Mirage and it claimed to have killed her parents. Well, that concludes this video of Disney Daily. My question for you all is, who is your favorite teen mutant and which ability would you like to have? As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.